Hello everyone, this is Whitfield Harrington, and you probably have watched a couple of my videos and you've been wondering how can you get in contact with me. Well, the purpose of this video is to show you or to tell you how you can get in contact with me. So I want you to listen to this video in its entirety so you will know exactly the best way to contact me and how to get a response from me in a timely manner. The first thing I want to point out is that a lot of people have tried to contact me, and I definitely have been overwhelmed with the amount of people that I've been contacting across different ways of contacting. Some have been contacting through the comment section. Some people find me on Facebook. Some people find me on my emails, and there's other ways that I didn't even know I could be contacted that I'm still being contacted. So what I want to point out is, number one, the best way to contact me is through the email that's listed in the description of the video below. So there's an email there that tells exactly how to contact me or where to contact me. But I want you to understand a few things before you contact me so everything will go smoothly. When you contact me, I do want to point out that I no longer do private consultations. And the reason for that is I don't like charging people, okay? So, but I had to devise a way to do this for free. So I'm doing this for free. However, I have decided that I'm going to respond to a certain amount of dreams or requests on a daily basis. So it's going to be on a first come, first served basis. So it's very important that when you contact me, you have everything in order, because if I have to reach back out to you for more details on something, then you have a group of people that have come in now while we're waiting on you to respond to it. So the first thing I ask that you do is that when you contact me at the email below, you make certain that you provide as many details about the dream or the situation that you want information about. And the reason for that is that sometimes people will go on and on and on talking about things that are not relevant to what they really want to discuss. So I want to make certain that you're talking about what you want me to deal with. And please don't leave out any of the details. The next thing that I want to point out is please get it right the first time. Because if you don't get it right the first time, then it's only going to make it difficult for me to reach out to you, wait for you to respond, and then it's a waiting game already, but then it's going to make it even more difficult if you don't get it right the first time. And in the process of waiting for me to respond, feel free to look around my channel. There are a lot of videos on there, especially the videos that talk about common dreams and visions. Now, one of the things I do is I try to keep my videos short and straight to the point. I believe that if I have something profound to share with people, it shouldn't take me forever to discuss it. I can't say that I have 3 ways that you can pray that will forever change your life, and then I put it in a book, and the book has 600 pages. To me, that just doesn't make sense. If I have something to share with you that's going to be life-changing, I believe it should be condensed, straight to the point. And that's what I've done with those videos. I've tried to keep them straight to the point to where it doesn't require a lot of your time to get the information from them. Now, later on in the future, I will be making additional videos that will be longer in length, as some people have requested. But right now, I want to keep everything short and to the point. Next up, a lot of people like to make public posts on the YouTube channel. I don't have a problem with that. However, if you notice, sometimes I will respond, sometimes I won't respond. Let me tell you my rules for responding. I had to develop a rule so that I wasn't jumping every time a post popped up or it looked like I was answering one post before another one. The rule is this: if a person posts a comment or a question and I feel that, number one, answer it will add value to anyone else that reads it, then I will respond to it. A lot of times it's just posts are there, they're not thorough in what they're asking. And what I mean by that is people will have a dream, and that dream could be 2 minutes about something. And they will make one statement. Well, I had a dream that my mama got shot. What does that mean? And the reality of it, a dream is a riddle. So you're asking me to figure out a riddle, but you haven't even given me the entire riddle. And a lot of times that's what I see in the comment section. It's an incomplete dream, and I can't give you a complete interpretation of it. And so when I see questions and comments that are posted, and believe me, I do see all of them. So when I see questions and comments that are posted, I'm looking for those ones that are going to give value to everyone that would read them, and not just to completely try to answer every dream that comes through. Because if I tried to answer everybody that sent me a dream, I would have to do this full time, and I probably would have to charge, which is what I don't want to do, which is what I'm not going to do. So I have to randomly select what gives value to everybody that's looking at the video and that's reading the comment section. So another thing that I did, but I'm sort of moving away from it, is I pay attention to the seriousness of the comment as well. And what I mean by that is this: if you went to the emergency room and you had a situation going on where you had a fever and your nose was running, and then someone comes in that's having a heart attack, the person with a heart attack is going to get the attention first, or get treated first in the emergency room, because their situation is more serious. A lot of times I see dreams in comparison to others, and I have to determine which one requires the most attention. And there have been some situations where I have to reach out to some people personally and tell them we need to talk. It's rare that I see that, but many times I see situations where people are just in a horrible relationship and they need to get out of it. Everybody in your family is telling you to get out of it. But there are some situations that I have seen where it has been a life or death situation, where the enemy was coming in for the kill, and I had to get in touch with those people personally. So even though you can't have, or even though I'm limiting myself to one-on-one consultations, if your situation is serious, I will reach out to you. I will reach out to you. So, and also there are some things that I just don't think belong in the public forum. I don't believe all of your business, everybody's business, should be right there in the comment section of YouTube. That's why I've made it to where you can send me a private message, and made it easier for you to reach out to me that way. So that's one of the things that I'm saying. So be certain that you take the time to give me all the information in the dream. Now, let me share this with you. This is very important. If you're not good at typing, then say it. In other words, you can take your cell phone and you can record it. You can record that file and you can upload that file into the video. Or into the email. Upload it into the email. And what I do now is I typically no longer write out a response. I speak a response, because I find that it's easier for me to talk about something for 10 minutes and upload the file and send it to you, and you hear me talk about your situation, versus sitting at the computer trying to type out every word that's coming to my mind, and I need to check the spelling on this, put a comma. No, I'm just going to talk. I'm going to talk and record myself and send it back to you. So that's why it's so important that you give me as much information as you can about it. Now, when I say as much information, please, for those of you who like to write essays and just send them in, please limit, what you're sending in. Please, I'm not going to tell you how to limit it, but please don't send a 7-page essay to me about one dream. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So some other things that I want to point out real quickly about some things that I'm going to have coming in the near future. I know many of you have been looking at some of the videos on the channel, but let me say this: every single video that you have seen as it relates to the broadcast, those are all pre-recorded. Okay? And a lot of times people say, well, when is this going to happen? And I had a situation where there was a conference call that was supposed to take place, and people started emailing me, and I'm like posting comments about it. I was like, what are they talking about? Because what happened is I uploaded a series of videos, and I scheduled them to be released over a period of time. I didn't listen to all of them. And so I had to go back and figure out what was going on. And when I did the live broadcast, that's when I mentioned what was happening. And so I then had to go back and set up a conference call. And a few people called in for that conference call. I went ahead and did that conference call. But if you hear a video, just know all of them have been pre-recorded over the radio. And what I decided to do, rather than to let those files just sit on my computer, I decided to upload those files to YouTube so someone can still get the benefit out of it. With that being said, the radio broadcast that I do here in Chicago is probably going to be ending. Now, I've been in talks with the radio station, and they're offering me some free time to stay on the radio. But I'm probably still going to end it because, number one, it's limited. It's limited in its reach. It's only limited as far as the antennas will allow it to, and it's limited to whoever's listening to it live. After that, it's obsolete. It's gone. But when I load videos up to YouTube or and I save the file, the possibilities are greater. And not only that, it's free. YouTube video is free. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be phasing out my radio talk show here in Chicago. But in the future, and I haven't set a date just yet, I'm going to have a call-in live talk show. I'm typically looking to start around the month of February, but pray for me because I have so much going on. Around the month of February, to where I'm going to do a blog talk radio show where you can actually call in and people can actually call in and listen live and answer questions. And I won't be limited to the 15-minute time slot. And there's a reason why I haven't posted longer videos, and I haven't, and I've stuck to the small format. And the reason being because a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, you don't hear this typically discussed on a Sunday morning. You don't typically hear this in a Sunday school lesson. These are what the Bible calls mysteries, and it's not given unto everybody in the kingdom to understand the mysteries of the kingdom. And so, but it is my duty and my responsibility to share with the people of God what God has given me. With that being said, however, I recognize that a lot of times that I can say things or I can give you information that would be extremely helpful to you, but what I cannot do is I cannot pastor you through the comment section of a YouTube video. And what I mean by that is, if I tell you to go and pray a certain way or to do certain things, there's going to be a reaction because of that prayer. And I realize that. So therefore, I only gave people, or I was only teaching what I perceive is enough for you to get started. You know, in basic training in the Army, they don't send you out into war in the second week. They train you before to be prepared to do warfare. And that's what I was doing in those first set of videos, is training you to be prepared. But it takes more in-depth teaching for me to really tell you that if you pray, you know, and I have one person that I'm working one-on-one with now whose situation was extremely serious, okay? In fact, it was so serious that I hadn't heard from this person in a few days. I demanded that I needed to hear from you every week. That's just how serious your situation is. And I hadn't heard from that person in about 3 weeks, and I did not stop looking for ways to contact them until I found a way to contact them. And that's the reason why I don't go deep or long in a lot of the videos, because I had a person who reached out to me and told me that they saw a situation where they had a dream where this little boy was issuing incantations over them in the dream. And I said to them, well, just cancel it. Well, how do you cancel it? And I said, well, you just say in the name of Jesus, I cancel that incantation. It shall not come to pass in my life. Now, I tell people to cancel evil dreams. What I don't tell them is how to retaliate. You see, when the enemy comes against you, you can retaliate. But I don't tell you how to retaliate because I'm not there to coach you. Because if you throw a rock at the devil, you better believe he's going to come back with a brick. And you need to be prepared to know how to defend yourself in a situation such as that. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be expanding the videos. And there are some things that I just don't say in the public forum. So, and there's some things that I have going on locally that I don't mention in the public forum. But what I will say is, if you want to be included in a lot of the things that I have going on locally, and you want some of the more in-depth stuff, then there is a link for a newsletter. in the description of this video. Click on the link and subscribe to that newsletter. Now, I know you want to meet me and talk to me and give me all of what's going on, and let's devise a plan. But the first thing I need you to do is to help me make my life more organized. And that's what I've been doing, is trying to figure out a more organized approach to help people who have been watching the videos. And by subscribing to my newsletter, trust me, I am not going to spam you. I got so much going on now until I could use an assistant, okay? But I want to become a little bit more organized. For instance, if I'm teaching about a particular subject, then I've devised a way to send out messages or different things that's relating to that subject. So if someone contacted me, let's just say, in the future about a particular subject, I will have a series of videos available for that subject that you need to listen to in order. And by signing up for the newsletter, it will give me the ability to put you in groups so I can send out that information that you need at certain times. For some people, it may be prayer. Some people, it may be spiritual warfare. Some people, it may be fasting, or different subjects. It'll just give me the ability to have an automated system to put information in front of you. So please sign up for the newsletter. Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you. I know you want to talk to me one-on-one, but I first need you to at least trust me to give me your email so I can send you some information that's valuable to you. Also, and I know there are some of you who are anxious to meet me one-on-one publicly here in Chicago. I am launching a ministry here in Chicago, so I need your prayers. I don't want to go into detail about that, but feel free to contact me if you're interested in knowing more about it here in the city of Chicago. In addition to that, I do, from time to time, accept invitations. Now, one thing I don't do is I don't go around asking people to invite me to come preach. I just don't believe in it. I believe in being prepared to preach, but I don't believe in beating people's doors down to let me come and preach. There's too many people on the street for me to witness to, for me to get into a situation to where I'm fighting to make a name for myself. But I am open to invitations, and I just put that out there. I also am going to have some books and things that are going to be released in 2019 as well. And lastly, and certainly, well, not lastly, a few other things. I'm going to be honest and tell you that there are some dreams that I may not know the interpretation of. If I don't know the interpretation of that dream, guess what? I'm going to tell you that I don't know the interpretation of that dream, and we need to pray about it. And when I say we need to pray about it, I'm going to pray about it briefly. I'm just being straight up. But I expect you to continue to pray about it until God gives you the clarification in it, because it's your dream. It's your message. And rather than to just make up something and to make myself look good and to make a fool out of somebody else, I'm not going to do it. If I don't know the meaning of it, there were some dreams that Daniel found difficult in the book of Daniel. There are some things that John saw in the book of Revelation that he didn't understand. And there are some dreams that I've come across that I just did not add. I didn't know the meaning of it. So I'm not going to make up something just to make myself look good and make you feel good. But in the end, it turns out bad for both of us. I would just be honest and say it. So I think I pretty much have covered almost everything that I wanted to go over. And lastly, and certainly not least, if you don't know Jesus, if you are not saved, if you don't even know who Jesus is and you want to know more about salvation, this is what I want you to do. I want you to click on the link so you can learn more about Jesus. There's a link in the bottom of the video that talks about who is Jesus and why you need to know him. Do yourself an eternal favor. Don't click off without clicking on that link, because I'm going to take the time and explain who Jesus is. Because a lot of times people say, well, you need to be saved. And people like, saved from what? I'm like, have you found Jesus? Well, I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for him. So a lot of times it's not been properly explained to people. So what I want to do is I want to explain to you who Jesus is and why you need to know him, what salvation is and why you need it. So please click on the link that's in the description as well to know about that, so you can begin the journey of knowing who Jesus is and why you need to know him. So that's pretty much all I have for you now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you would, like and share this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.